Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making this cheese and fruit board with polymer clay. So I hope you like it. So first we're going to start with the board. As you can see here, I have a lot of scrap clay. I have a lot of tones. I have brown, white, beige, any scrap clay you have, it will be perfect for this. It doesn't matter if your clay is a little bit dirty because we are going to be mixing everything, and you can clean it after you baked it with some rubbing alcohol. So we are going to start by mixing all this. I'm going to start to make a bowl with all this clay. It doesn't matter the order of the colors, you just need to make them all random and start making a bowl like I said. There's also some whites and translucent in this mix, so you can get like a natural wood tone. So after you shape into a bowl, you need to start rolling all the clay together to make a cylinder. So now I'm going to take a blade and cut in the half like you're seeing, and then I'm going to put it together like that. Then we cut again in half. This is the famous marbling technique. This is the way I like to make it. So you just need to start rolling the clay, and you can see the colors are start to mix randomly. So here I'm stretching the clay, making like a snake. Then we put together both and we twist. So now you move with this step. This will create even more blending the colors, and we continue to make this. Now I'm going to cut again in half. You will be seeing how it looks in the inside. I think it looks really nice. I always like to cut the half because you can see more how the mix looks. And we put them together again, and now I'm cutting again and just put it. This is like making a cane, but it's like a mix between a cane and the marbling technique. Make sure to push all the clay, that way you can make sure there won't be some bubbles or spaces between the clay. Here is the final step. It's just twisting the clay. And here I'm twisting one more time. And here I actually like how it looks. Now the only thing we need to do is, you can, if you don't have a pasta machine, you can just use a roller. And here is how it looks. I think it looks great. Even the little sand things it has, I think it looks like natural. So now the only thing, I'm going to make a small board, cutting board. So I take my blade here and I'm just cutting. I'm not following any design, I'm just doing it by hand. But if you want, you can make a little draw in a paper, put it on the clay and then cut. It doesn't need to look perfect. You can correct that with your blade. Now I'm going to add some texture with some toothbrush. You can use a brush, or I don't know what else you can use. Some sandpaper. So you can see that there's a little bit of stripes in there. So it looks like it has been used. And I do the same all around the board with the same brush. So I take the board and I start adding some shading with browns only on the sides of the board to make it more like realistic. You do that all around. And you can add even more deeper texture and cuts, even if you want to make it look very rustic. So I think it's ready. I'm just adding some final touches. After that, you need to pre-bake your boards. You can even leave them like plates, so they're ready to use whenever you want. That one is going to be for some crackers, some bread, also some green. All these colors have a lot of translucent in them. Also a peach color because we're going to be making some dried fruit for grape, light purple, and also some yellow for the Swiss cheese, and then a white granite color for some little balls, a camembert cheese. So those are the colors I'm going to be using. Here I have a pre-baked board. So first I'm going to start with the camembert cheese, and this is just white. I'm going to make a bowl, and from there I'm going to cut a little like a round shape. This is a really simple cheese. I didn't want to make it more complicated than it is. That's why it's just entire cheese. So I cut a little bit. It doesn't matter if it gets dirty. You know, white it's like always gets dirty because we're going to be cleaning it after it's baked. So after I cut that, I'm just adding a little bit of texture to the cheese because it doesn't have a lot of texture on the sides. And I'm going to add some stripes on the top. So when you think it's ready, you're going to put it on the board. This is an arrangement that I'm just making. You can place or even add some more cheeses or fruits. You can make it like whatever you want. So here I'm going to make it, put it on the board. I added some liquid clay so it can be stick to the board. You can even add more texture once it's in the board, so that way it's easier. So next I'm going to make the apple. This is really simple apple. I'm just taking the light beige color, just making a little snake. And I'm here everything, I'm not using molds or anything, just my fingers. I'm taking the green clay. I'm just trying to make like a very thin sheet to add on the top. So you put it on top of the clay like that, and you cut the excess the clay. Here I'm adding some more clay. So making that arrangement, I don't know how much slices to put, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, your choice. So 6 slices of apple. So I'm taking this granite tone to make like the little bowl. So I took just a piece of clay and I'm just making like a round thing. In this bowl I'm going to be adding some nuts like almonds and pecans, something like that. And I'm going to make a even smaller bowl to add some olive oil in there. Just a tiny bowl. So there we have 2 small bowls. So now to the bigger bowl, I'm going to be adding like some nuts. They're going to be just small things that you won't be able to see, but they are nuts. So I'm taking the brown clay, I'm just making small balls, and I'm going to try to make like pecans and then some almonds. Yep. So after that, I'm going to start making the crackers or saltines, I think they're called. And I'm taking the same beige color. No, this is the ecru part, the dough color, sorry. And I'm just making a little snake. They're really simple, just with that and some little holes, adding some more shading, and you can add as many as you want. I'm just going to add 3 or 4. Now I'm going to make bread. It's going to be the same process as the crackers. I'm going to try to make a loaf of bread. And the same, adding some texture and some shading and cutting some slices, and then we are going to texture them on the board. It's easier to texture them on the board because we are going to be seeing just one side of the bread. So just add some rough texture in there. Now to continue, I'm going to make a slice of Swiss cheese. So for that I take this like yellow color, has a lot of translucent, like that. And I'm going to add the texture that it has, like the small holes in there. This one is really simple because it doesn't have like shading or something like that. So some little holes here and there. And then I'm going to place it on the board. Here I'm trying to, make spaces because it's really crowded. So I hope everything looks okay. Now I'm going to make some dry fruit, some dry peaches, or I don't know, nectarines. I don't know. I think they're peaches. I think, this peach color, and I'm just making a bowl, adding a line, and there we have our dry fruit. So I'm going to add them here and there. Also for the grapes, it's going to be almost the same process. So here I'm going to make the blue cheese, or the Roquefort cheese. I'm going to take a piece of the dough color. I'm going to be adding a little bit of white as well. And the secret in here, it's going to be, I'm adding some black sand. The other secret is adding some fake grass. I found that product in the architecture where you find the things to make those small houses like that. Is fake grass. So I start mixing all together until it looks like that distinctive blue cheese. So you mix and mix and mix, and there you have blue cheese. So I'm going to try to make a big slice because this cheese is like, I think, the bigger one. To this I'm adding a little bit of shading with pastels, also a little bit of texture if you want to. It doesn't need a lot because it already has the sand, so that gives a texture. Here I don't know actually where to put it because everything is so crowded. So I think there's the place. Yes. And now next to that, I'm just going to make some grapes and add them or fit them wherever I can, in there, here and there and there and there. Now I'm just going to add the little olive oil that is going to be in the smaller bowl. So I'm just adding some liquid clay. I'm shading some pastels. That color was ochre, I think, and a little bit of green. So after you finish everything and then you like it, you need to bake it completely. I'm going to bake mine for 20 minutes, 25, until everything looks good. Then we can add some glaze and some shading if you want. And yes, that's that. So here is everything baked. As you can see, I changed some things. I put the blue cheese on the side and I make the Swiss cheese a little bit smaller and add a piece on the bread, just because I thought everything looked really crowded. So I'm just adding now some glaze in the oil. It doesn't need glaze in everything because everything it isn't shiny, everything. So just a little dots here and there. So now I'm going to add some shading to the crackers and the bread. I'm just going to take a small brush. Here I have some pastels. I'm just adding a little bit of water, mixing everything up. I have 3 colors: brown, like orange, ochre. Just adding a little bit here and there so it can pop more. Matte glaze, and that will be it. So this tutorial was a little bit long. That's why it took me a lot to edit and record and everything. On Instagram I saw you liked it a lot, so that's why I decided to finish it already. So I hope you like it, and if you make it, please make sure to add the hashtag and these charms on your creation, wherever you post it, on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, I don't know, anywhere. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you like it, and if you saw this to the end, then thank you. And yes, I'm really tired to talk right now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.